Yo, welcome back to the AW show, aka the Abbas Wahab show. Guess who Abbas Wahab is? There you go. Back in my car, New York City. As you know, I'm recording in my car. It is hot. It's crazy in New York right now. They just voted in a Muslim mayoral nominee, and the world is going crazy. It's not just New York. Obviously, they're targeting me on social media, but every time I open up my feed, that's the only conversation that seems to be happening at all. And a lot of people are afraid. Let's just say that. The one good thing about all this is that look at this. The ghetto chopper, they're looking for someone. Oh, God, they're looking for someone. They're like, we're looking for Muslims, rounding them up. All I'm saying is all of the latent fear and racism and whatever xenophobia towards Muslim people that was hidden, it has now come to the surface. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it is what it is. It's happening. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's like a pimple that's it's too deep to pop. But then once that pus starts coming to the top, maybe it can be addressed. But people are legitimately afraid. I saw one person posting the 9/11 like destruction, being like, he's coming to finish the job. It's like, what does that even mean? But there is a lot of fear mongering going on, and this guy just took social media by storm. Zohran Mamdani. I was saying Zohran because it's ZOH. Or Z for the Americans, Zohran. But they were pretty clear that it was Zohran. Yeah, they fucking dropped that H hard. If it was Zohran, he would have never won. The H, that would have single-handedly stopped him from possibly taking office. The H was too aggressive. What's funny is, as soon as I moved to Bushwick, Brooklyn, where I'm living, I was seeing his posters the whole. I thought he was Israeli because don't mess with the Zohan. I was like, oh, Zohan, it's an Israeli guy, right? You know, it's a big Jewish population. And he's not. He's like a Ugandan. He's a Indian Ugandan guy. And, Indians were like in a lot of these African countries. And they actually got kicked out because, you know how the Indians do? They started handling all the merchant stuff and commerce and just kind of, I guess, undercutting the locals, and they went wild. That happened in like a couple countries. But Idil Amimi or whatever is that, Uganda? This goes to shows my lack of history knowledge for the Africans. This homie's very well spoken. This Zohran guy, very well spoken. And the back and forth is crazy. They're saying anti-Semitism, he's anti-Semitic. They're saying he's purposefully called for the attack of Jews, which I haven't seen at all. And I'm living in New York, so I see his ads, and then I see the attack ads. And they've paired them together. I didn't even know you could even do this. Like, you can request to follow another commercial, because his ads come and then right after the other ads, they want the following spot. Why couldn't his ads follow the attack ad? But it's interesting. It shows you the psychology of what it means to be liked and what it means to be feared, because his ads, all smiles, all conventional suit, looking nice, a lot of people of creeds and whatnot, speaking eloquently. Like I said, a lot of jovial attitude. Then the attack ads, first of all, he's no longer in a suit. He's not smiling. He's always in his traditional garb, which, they're trying to paint him as like a revolutionary, like a foreign body. And all the footage is like up, face. And I never realized, if you have footage of someone facing up, like if I was like this, you don't like me. People of New York like this, like... That footage is very, very revolutionary, very and they put their Al-Qaeda filter on it, so it looks like it was in a cave, and he's never smiling, and it's like Arabic kind of like terroristy music in the background, and he's like just saying wild shit. I don't even know what he's saying. It's like they're completely glossing over what he's saying, because I think if you actually capture his words, they're not as aggressive, or they're not as inciting or filled with malice as they're trying to paint. So they just show him doing this, and they're like, Zohran Mamdani, and they really like hit those foreign syllables. Zohran Mamdani wants to see New York destroyed, like that type of thing, and never have him smile, because he's got a very like photogenic smile, and very aggressive, and it cracked me up. It's pretty much being Bismillah, like people are like, oh my God, 9/11, I can't vote for this guy. So I guess a Muslim can never hold office here. I don't know. He's got the people's vote big time. I don't even know he's the Democratic nominee. So I don't even know who Republican is, or the right wing guy who their nominee is. So you really get the sense that this guy's gonna win because he doesn't even just have New York behind him. Like if you ever look at this guy's comments, it's always like my mayor from California. People in Vancouver, I wish I was there. People in Edmonton, don't let 9/11 happen again. You know, even the Canadians chiming in, as you would think. And all the people that are commenting and chiming in you'd exactly expect them to say what they say based on where they're at, based on their profile pic. But it's just very interesting to me to see how this whole thing is going down. Like, this guy, he's definitely inspired a lot of people. He talks like a classic. He talks like when Obama was at his peak. It's also another one of those against all odds campaigns because he was way at the bottom in the polls against this other guy who used to be the ex-governor of California, Cuomo or whatever, who had to resign and whatnot. But the big viral moment for Zohran was when they asked all of the candidates one by one, if by any chance you were going for a vacation, let's say, from New York City, where would you go? And then one by one, they were all like, well, naturally, considering all the anti-Semitism, I'd go to Israel. One of the guys was like, I would make my 4th trip to the homeland. And then it comes to him and he goes, I would stay right here and address New Yorkers within the 5 boroughs. Like,
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
It's very level-headed. And it almost seemed like one of them had to go for it, you know, especially after 4 people saying it. Even if I was in that scenario, I'd be like, oh, this is my opportunity to disrupt this back and forth. Just glazing Tel Aviv. Like, is this guy the mayor? What are they running for here? It was very confusing. And then they were like trying to gaslight, and the questions blew my mind. They go, well, and then he goes, I would stay here and address the 5 this. And they're like, do you not believe in a Jewish state of Israel? He's like, oh, I would address my Jewish voters in their 5 boroughs and in their synagogues, wherever they are in the community. They're like, what about Israel? And he's like, I believe in it's right for a state to equal rights.
Just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
And then the Kuma guy literally goes like, he won't even go to Israel.
His answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
He said it as if it was so open and shut, which cracked me up. And that thing went viral, and it did the exact opposite. Every move they try to make, which kind of goes to show you that people are waking up. The world is slowly turning on the Israeli regime, like in all fronts. You see it. And they're kind of waking up to all the bullshit. And this guy, I saw one video of him being like, they told us for so long that if you want to get ahead, do not mention Palestine. And then by the way, whoever's doing this guy's campaign, that's the real hero in all of this. Whoever's doing his digital assets, his fucking digital marketing, all that stuff, graphic design, yo. When I first saw that poster that says Zohran, when I thought it was Israeli, I took a picture of it because I have an album on my phone called like art inspiration, because I make a lot of my posters and stuff for comedy, and this one was like dope. The colors they chose, just the way he was positioned, it was great. And then just every time they release something, it's just terrific. Like everything he got was like viral. Every video he was dropping like 3 a day. And man, I've never seen this. This guy got 500,000 followers in like a day. Like I checked, I was watching his come up. He was like 600,000. Then I look, and it's like he's 650, 710, 760. Then the day he hits 1 million. Then that day that he won, I check again, 1.5. I'm like, he's probably at like 3 or something by now because the whole world is following him. And you can really tell like how polarized things are. This guy's going to win. God forbid that he gets assassinated. That's the only thing that's going to stop this homie right now is an assassination attempt. And I don't even want to put that out there because luckily we ain't got all those numbers on this pod. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. That's the only thing I see stopping this guy, to be honest with you. And on that note, Hamilton, I'm coming out July 10th at Levity Comedy Club. Pull up for that. And then Montreal Improv, July 16th. July 17th and 18th, I'm in Ottawa at Live on Elgin. And then July 24th, Waterloo, I'm coming back out. I rented the Princess Cinema. Pull up for that. And I just announced a Philly date, August 13th at Punchline Philly. And then I'll be back in Toronto for August 22nd, 23rd at Comedy Bar Danforth. I'm still in my car, sweating, people. But yeah, like you see the comments being like, you fools are trauma voting. Don't forget what happened 9/11. As if like Islam is the one that attacked. And then people are being like, should people not vote for Christians because Hitler was Christian? They're like, no, that's the whole different thing. That's come on, man. That's a whole. And it's wild to me. Like, there's really no footage of him espousing hate against Jewish people, against anybody. But that's what people are saying. He's a communist. He's a socialist because I guess he's trying to give healthcare for children, and he's trying to rent freeze all of like the rent control places, and he wants free buses, which I'm pretty sure 90% of people were not even paying for to begin with. So it's like, and I guess he wants to tax the 1%, an extra 2%, whatever it is. So they're like, he's a socialist, he's a communist, he's coming to take away your rights and ability to be free. It's just Muslim fear is all it is. And I feel like the more people attack, the more people have conversations about him, the more people just go look at him objectively. And hey, I'm Muslim, but I'm also an objective motherfucker. So I'm also looking for like the bad on him. And I haven't seen, if there was one footage of him being like, attack Jewish people, that would have been the main piece of that attack ad. They would have centered the whole thing around that. It would have opened and closed with that video, that footage, that tweet, whatever, in whatever format people are claiming it exists. I'm like, bro, that is political suicide. There's nothing, intolerance is not tolerated, but especially towards Jewish people, right? So it's like, that would sink him. If he actually has something that's like legitimately like anti, that would have sunk him. So it's like, I don't think it's out there. It's just fear. People be like, I can't believe they're voting for, it's just very dismissive terms. And again, I don't want to glaze this motherfucker. I don't even know who the other guy is. The other nominee that he's really up against. I couldn't even tell you. I'll tell you, this guy's going to win. For sure, this guy's going to win. The only thing against him, 33 years old, born October 18th. 1991. My birthday, October 6th, 1991. This motherfucker is 12 days younger than me. Yes, I had to do the math on that despite my engineering degree. Yes, I had to do the math on that. 12 days younger than me. And he's out here gonna clinch freaking mayoral seat in New York City. That's wild. And as the first Muslim. The thing about him is he's got like notable, his parents are known. Like his mom was like a known film director or something. His dad was like some guy that was known. And he's got all these great like stories and adages about like how his dad won the very first like Ugandan scholarships to America. And he was like in the Million Man March with Martin Luther King and all this stuff. And he was arrested. Like it's all great fodder for political campaigns. I'm telling you, there was someone's like, what did your father do? That's the campaign, his campaign manager that sat him down. Anything noteworthy about pops, moms, anything we can mention in this campaign trail? But just campaigning itself, there's something about it that it's the ultimate marketing. Campaigning is kind of the highest level of marketing efforts. That's why I came up with this theory. If Tom Cruise was 5 to 6 inches taller, and I don't know how tall he is off the top of my head. If he was 5 to 6 inches taller, Tom Cruise would be the president of the United States. Mark my words. That's his sociopathic level. Like, just, have you ever seen Top Gun or any of these, or the final Mission Impossible, if you watch them in theaters? And maybe even the other ones have him like this, but he addresses the entire audience off the top in a very presidential Scientology, like, he looks right into your eye with this canned smile. He goes, a lot of people work really hard on this, and we thank you so much for experiencing it here in theaters where it was meant to be. Enjoy the show. And it's kind of like, it's so zoomed in on his face. He's like this close. He's like, thank you for coming so much. A lot of people like, and you're like, yo, back up, homie, back up. What the fuck? We're already here in theaters. Relax, bro. We paid for the ticket. We got the popcorn. Ease up, you know? That shit cracked me up. But if this guy was 6 inches taller, yo, I'm telling you, president of the United States. And the place I learned that shit was in Mission Impossible, not the final one, the second last one. What was it? Dead Reckoning, whatever it's called. He takes a jump off of a cliff on like this Indian motorcycle, pulls a parachute, lands. 16, does the real stunt in real life, you know, as crazy his Scientology ass is. But I watched a reel on YouTube, and I'm going to try to find it and put it here. I don't think, maybe I won't be able to because I tried to go back and look, and I could never find it. But base camp for this film was at the base of the cliff where essentially he is going to parachute down. And I saw footage. I don't know how many takes he did of the jump, but I saw footage of him landing with the parachute, and they got like a ramp. He's in the air with the parachute, and the whole set is applauding, as they would. It's Tom Cruise just did his own wild stunt, and he's applauding the whole set. And the moment this guy's feet touch the ground and he's still running forward with the momentum of the parachute and gravity, he immediately opens up his arms and he's like, "It's you guys. It's you guys." The minute he lands, do you know how psychopathic you have to be? Jumps, releases the motorcycle, falls to its destruction, pulls the parachute, navigates exactly to the landing spot. They're already applauding him, so he hears the audio of the applause and he's already like dialed in too. It was even more presidential than when Trump got shot. And he comes up, he goes, "Yeah, yeah," which they're saying it's staged, but I don't know. I guess in 20 years we'll find out if it was staged or not. That's how this shit seems to go. But the second he lands, "It's you guys. I couldn't have done this without you guys." That's some presidential shit, man. It's only height holding him back. Only height. They use all of freaking Hollywood magic to make you forget about his height. If you get cast in a Tom Cruise movie and you're ever in a scene with him, your casting hinges on your height relative to his and the way they shoot everything. Watch, every time he walks away with a group, he's like 5 feet ahead. So just from depth perception, everyone's kind of lined up a little bit. Or like, if he's like arguing with someone, they'll be like looking eye to eye, despite you knowing he's like 5, whatever, and that person's like 6'1". That black dude, what's his name? Julius, or in the Mission Impossible series, who, okay, I don't know, spoiler, but let's just say he meets his, oh, come on, watch it already. But anyways, the reason they chose that guy is he's the height of Tom Cruise. He's this big black dude. You get the impression that he's like a giant black dude. He's not. They found a big black dude that just happens to be 5'5" or 5'6" or whatever it is, so we can meet Tom eye to eye. That, or maybe they dug a hole and had him stand in because they'd be doing next level shit to make him. Even in Top Gun Maverick, when him and that girl do that random boat scene where they go sail, which it splits the movie up. Anytime they make a choice in these movies to have a scene I don't understand, I'm always like, they needed this. Structurally, I don't know what it is. I'm not in the business of, obviously editing movies, making movies, but I feel like without this scene, something, they know viewer tendencies, they understand the 3 acts, all this stuff. So I'm like, this is a necessary scene because Top Gun Maverick is a perfect action movie. But he's sailing with this chick, and at one point she's grabbing the big steering wheel on the boat, and they switch just so he can be in front of her. And she like steps back, and Jennifer Connelly, I forget her name is, and like she steps back into this spot where he's like a foot taller than her, where it's like, yo, come on, man, just let it be what it is. But thank God he's the size that he is, because it's made for some incredible movies. And if you haven't seen Final Reckoning, the final one, which I thought it was a little long, but stunts were crazy. And on that note, F1. Brad Pitt, the black kid. I forget his name, man. I wish I had my phone on me. Yo, terrific movie. It's exactly what you think it's going to be based on the trailers. Based on the synopsis, like the gist of what it is, it's exactly it. These guys, they do the thing you're going to do, and it's like it's exactly what you expect it to be, because it's a family movie. It's not a rated R or anything, but let me just say, it was the same director as Top Gun Maverick. I forget his name. But wow, this dude. Anytime I see this guy's directing some shit, and I don't even have to remember his name, because anytime you have blockbusters like that, it'll be like, from the director of Top Gun Maverick, the director that brought you F1. So you don't have to remember, right? Man, amazing. I forget what the name of the technology they have that actually lets you film inside of these like high speed dynamic vehicles, whether it's a jet or F1. But man, the footage they have in it is superb. And the fact that they have Lewis Hamilton produces the whole thing. He's in it at one point to show it. They filmed in real races. It's one of the only sports. Brad Pitt was on some podcast talking about, like, they literally what's it called? The one in England, the main one. They filmed it, like the lineup, the initial like takeoff of the cars on lap 1. Or maybe it was the qualifier. They're in the back. The real camera of when the event was filmed does not show them in the back. They cut them off. But there's real cameras there, and they're really in there. Watch people walk by looking at me inside like, what the fuck's this guy doing? That's what you got to do when you're in New York. But, bro, the footage they have on this, especially the last scene. And you know, like I said, Lewis Hamilton is in it. Max Verstappen is in it. And I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. But that final scene, I love in a movie where they give you a hint, like they foreshadow something. Like it's a very simplistic, basic movie, if you will. The story is very basic, but you love it all. You get right into it. Look at this lady behind me. What's he doing? Man, the footage, especially that last scene. That last scene. At one point he tells, and this doesn't ruin anything, because you could tell immediately, it foreshadows it. I don't know, sorry for turning on these lights, just to get a little bit of, that's how weak these lights are, look. Actually, it's not bad. He tells his love interest, he goes, there's a moment you hit where everything just goes quiet, and it's just me and the car. And I've been chasing that for years. Because he's like he's a washed up racer that used to be great, disappeared for a long time. It's kind of a cliche. It's happened, you know. It almost feels like it could be Jason Statham if it had like a killing aspect to it. As soon as he says that, he's like, it's the quiet. You knew the movie is going to end with that. And that's exactly what happens. There's a breakaway at the end. And man, if you watch F1, I cannot wait. I actually was looking for that last shot because I was cutting an ad for my some upcoming shows I have. Hamilton, Montreal, Ottawa, AbbasWahab.com. Pull up. I'm there. I wanted that last shot where it's just the POV of... Every time I look for POV video of F1 or race cars, it's always literally from the point of view of the driver. It's within the car, on their helmet, whatever it is. I want it to be at the very front, on the nose of the car. So you don't see any car, and I don't want any cars in front. And all you see is tarmac, and the POV is like, let's just say you're 1 foot off the tarmac, going at impossible speeds. Oh man, that last scene, bro. Oh, mwah. I was looking for it just to, I jizzed my pants in that last scene, really. It's just, and it couldn't have been longer than a minute, but it was like euphoria. That's exactly what I watched the movie for, and you were waiting for it as soon as you're like, when's he gonna hit the quiet, the thing that he's been chasing his whole life? Oh, here it is in the final, boom. Ends happy. Just a great, it's a feel-good movie, it really is, and I really recommend it. There's really no twists. It's just the course, and I guess the drama, and the cars, and the footage. The footage is what makes the movie. The in-car footage, the on-the-track footage, the real sense for the speed and the vibration. Man, it makes me very excited for the future of movies in this age of AI. So I'm wondering what's going to come next. Now they've done jets. I guess a motorcycle will be the next MotoGP. They were the fastest racers in the world. From the director that brought you F1 and Top Gun Maverick. I'm like, oh shit, it's a MotoGP one. But yeah, that was amazing. I watched that shit out there in BC. Yo, everybody in BC, thank you for pulling up in Vancouver. I got to stick real close to the camera now because sun is not helping me right now. Your boy got cut out. Let's just say it is a cloud cover. I'm under a tree because it's hot as fuck in here. Vancouver was a blast. Thank you for coming out. We went to Kelowna, Kamloops, Victoria. Great. Vancouver Island. I don't know what it is about Vancouver Island, but so many beautiful women there. It's like I found out it's like a humanities course or an arts course. You could tell. You could just feel it. They're all like 20 to 23 looking. It's just like crazy ratio. You know, remember when you were growing up and people would be like, you didn't go to the club that one night your boys went and be like, bro, you should have pulled up, man. There was like 7 chicks for every guy, bro. And it's always a lie, obviously. It's exaggerating to the max, but it actually feels like that. I saw some like pretty fobby brown dudes with like white chicks. And you see brown guys with white chicks, but they're usually like first gen. I don't want to say whitewashed, but they're a race here, so it's like whatever, right? But fucking dudes with accents. Brown guys with accents with white chicks. And I was like, damn, you do not see that a lot. That is a testament to the numbers out there in Victoria. I don't know what they do. It feels like it's just like witness relocation out there. Just the vibes of people that are just like running breweries and whatnot. People go there to hide is the feeling that you get. especially considering the ferry's $125 each way. I don't know what happened. It used to be $110 one way, and to get back off the island was like $30. And then I guess they were like, "Yo, people really want to get off the island. Let's make it one." It was $250 round trip to ferry back and forth, obviously with a car, but that's a lot, yo. That's a lot. I don't know what it is anymore because I haven't gone on any full resort all-inclusive trips, but coming up, $750 was your standard Cancun all-inclusive coming out of Canada. So I imagine now with everything, it's probably like more like $1,100-1,200. But yeah, people showed up. It was a blast, man. Sold some posters. I was in the GV80 Genesis, which, funny enough, Genesis, they gave me this car. I've got my show in Montreal coming up in July 16th, I was saying, and I was trying to get another car from Genesis, but they gave me this car in Vancouver, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to hold off on okaying another car in Montreal because we want to see what your content's going to be because you shat on us, bro. You shat on us." Like, the PR guy's like, "Hey, off the record," which I guess now it's not anymore. He goes, "Look, I fucking died laughing, but you shat on us." And he's like, "I want to see what kind of content you'll make first." But I was like, "Okay, cool." So I get the car, and we just have fun. And right before we return, like, it's the last show, Vancouver, it was so much driving and, like, just running around that I didn't even have a chance. Right before we did the Vancouver show, it was the last day, because I had to return at 6 a.m. the next morning. I was like, this is our last opportunity with light. So I'm like, "Bro, Jordan, just..." My homie Jordan Palchico, comedian, came out with it. I'm like, "Bro, break out the camera and just start recording. Just start recording." And I just did some random shit. And then I'm at the airport waiting on my connection to New York, and I just pieced it together. And I was like, whatever, I got to make some content because that's how I pay for the car, is the exposure with it. I pieced it together. I put it, posted, I fly. I don't even look at it. Then I get an email the next day from the same guy. He goes, "I saw your content. It was great. I've got this car ready for you in Montreal, and this car." And like, I'm like, "What?" And I go back and look, and it's like crushing it to the point where I'm like, "Man, I should have got paid for this." You know how hard it is to nail a Genesis video when you historically have shat on Genesis? And I'm a car guy with car guy fans. And Genesis, like, it's a brand that, it's an easy target, right? It's the luxury arm of Hyundai and Kia, which already, insert punchline, right? But so it was a fine line of like, how do you, because if I just sell it, then I lose face, right? Then it's almost as if I sold out, right? So it's like I have to honor the past comments I've made about it. And I just was like saying shit. And it worked out perfectly, bro. They got like almost 10,000 through multiple platforms, almost 500,000 views, 10,000 shares. And yeah, a lot of the comments are shit talking Genesis, being like blah, blah, blah. But most of the comments are like, "Damn, the car's nice, blah, blah, blah. This should be a commercial." All this shit where I'm like, fuck, I should have got paid for this. I should have got, people are like, "I hope you got the bag for this." I'm like, damn right. But all I did was really like save, I guess, the $500-600, which it is to rent, which sure. But I mean, if they had quoted me to do it, it would be way more than that. But I'm like, I guess, you know what? At the end of the day, I still made it funny for my audience. So everybody wins. But it is a little bit of a piss off when you're like, damn it, maybe I sold it too well. Let's just say that. The car was great. I'll tell you. The one annoying thing, though, is that in America, when you pick up these cars from the PR cars, they're waiting for you at the airport. And you don't have to pay for the gas. In Canada, not only are they not at the airport, and I had to like take a $50 Uber, you don't cover the gas. And they're like, you got to cover the gas. And it's premium. So I ended up spending $250 between gas and Ubers. And I'm like, yo, that's the price of Turoing like a fucking Chevy Sonic or a Mazda 2, whatever I would rent if I was on a budget, where it's like, I'm not saving money anymore once I get these PR cars in Canada. And I did a smashing video, so it's now selling Genesis. So now I'm just annoyed, but that's the game. I'm too good at this. I'm too good at it. Yeah, I can't light shit, but what are you going to do? The sun's not with me today. But it is what it is. I may have been. I'm actually pissed. I may hold off on getting a Genesis. I may switch up because I may get a Polaris, or not a Polaris. What am I saying? I'm trying to get another car. We'll see. Maybe Acura. Acura reached out, so that'd be sick. Get a Type S, whatever. RDX, MDX, TLX. Yo, give me something, boy. But I'm happy this stuff just landed in my pocket, so to speak, on my lap, not my pocket. So grateful for that. put me on game. Smoking Tire Podcast. But yeah, that's that. I'm going to end it at that. It's getting too dark at this point anyways. But come see me July 16th in Montreal, July 10th in Hamilton, July 17th and 18th in Ottawa, July 24th in Waterloo. We'll do the August dates later. Tickets at AbbasWahab.com. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, peace.